Yeah.
No, I could swear.
Nope, we've never done that.
That's all
I
my
could swear
fault.
you've done it live
I
once.
should have never said that.
Never.
No?
Mm-mm.
Well, Wayne didn't have to make us do it. It's really his fault.
Is this live on YouTube?
This will be live on YouTube.
Oh,
Yes.
shit. Okay.
So if you can tell
can
your
find
people that
this.
we're live, then
Thank you for the King Diamond storytelling thing. That was
Look
very
at this, man.
King Diamond's what storytelling thing?
Oh yeah,
King
the puppet
Diamond with
master.
telling the puppet master story. It was
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
still
I'm
doesn't
actually-
explain some shit.
No, it doesn't explain anything. But I was actually going to play that for the intro for the show. We've got to have an intro. So let me get the intro on here. Boy, this is hard to do it this way.
Yeah. Be live right now.
All right, here it is. All right, here we go. This is going to be a little 2 minutes. Be right back.
Good evening.
Rapid energy
I'm
drink.
King Diamond. I'm here to tell you the story of the...
So let me get the intro on.
It takes you back to the 18th century in Budapest, Hungary. It's about me as a puppet, hanging on the wall, reflecting back on the past 18 years and all the blood I had to see, all the misery I had to go through.
Welcome to This Broadcast Belongs to Them. Hey, what? Oh my God, this room, we are full of people in this chat here. Holy shit.
Nuts.
Damn, 6 people. Well, thank you all for joining us. We got some new guests here. Firicano from the band Ravage. I did pronounce that right, Al?
Yeah, Firicano.
Firicano, all right, close enough. And Bobby Leatherlungs Lucas from the band Attacker. What's up, Bobby?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Good.
And then we got our old co-host here, Mr. Ralph Vieira and Lisa Mann. Is your sound off, Lisa? Oh no, there you go.
Ooh. Is that better?
That's better. And Greg, my trusty co-host for Red Sal Review,
Yay.
the man who started this whole thing with me. And we're almost coming to an end. We have this album, The Puppet Master, and then we have the next album, Give Me Your Soul, Please.
Yeah, that's it.
Please. He's very polite.
He's very polite. He's a polite Satanist, and so that'll be hopefully next week or soon, whenever. And then we'll wait until another album comes out, and we'll see what happens from either band. So until then, we're going to talk about The Puppet Master tonight. And I invited Al on here because I know last time he was on the Rat Salad show, we talked about King Diamond, and he said The Puppet Master was one of his favorite albums. So I had to get you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And actually, Online Mental Promo is helping us promote the show a little bit better, and that's how Bobby got on here because he talked to Ben from Online Mental Promo, and he got you on the show. So thanks for coming on, Bob.
And it's my pleasure, man. Been a King Diamond fan since I'm about 15 years old.
Oh wow.
14. Yeah, I'm old. I gave my age away.
What was your first King Diamond album?
The EP. My
Oh,
guitar,
really? Okay.
Robbie at the time in my band Morbid Sin turned me on to the EP. First song I ever heard was A Corpse Without Soul, and I didn't know what hit me. I was floored.
Wow. That was your first one too, Ralph, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before Melissa came out, actually.
Yep.
Way back in the day.
For me, it was Melissa. I bought it. It just came out, and I bought it just for the cover. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but I know it's going to be good. And I will never forget the moment I put the needle down on the record, and I heard that first song, and I heard the oh man, I'll never forget that moment. I know exactly where I was.
Yeah. What about you, Al? I don't remember if we talked about what your first album was.
So my first exposure to King Diamond was the Bell Witch live cassette EP.
Oh, okay. All right. Wow.
My brother brought home. I think it was around when it came out, sometime in the mid '90s.
Yeah, like 94ish. Yeah.
And then he also, I think a few weeks later, he brought home a compilation, which was A Dangerous Meeting. It was a CD which had a bunch of King Diamond, a bunch of Merciful Fate, and the story of King Diamond, and that's what kind of got me started on him.
Oh, cool. Well, you're a late follower to King Diamond, but that's fine. It's all right. But today we're here to talk about the Puppet Master. I'm not going to go through the whole entire story. As you see, I just let King Diamond tell a little bit of the story because it's got a lot going on in here. And basically, King goes to Budapest and they turn him into a puppet. So that's the gist of the story. So, but let's start with the first song, Midnight. I love the song. It's got a creepy organ intro. He brought back that tambourine again, whatever. I guess we're just going to have to get used to that tambourine. This is where we are introduced to hearing another voice on the album besides King, and it's his wife, Livia. At first, I wasn't too sure what to think of it, but I was hoping to see where this was going to go. But great intro. I will let you go first. What do you think of Midnight?
I think it's a really good intro. I think it kind of touches on everything that King Diamond is. It's got the falsetto vocals. It's got the keyboards, as you said. And I think there were some people who were, in my King Diamond crew who were a little bit skeptical about the vocals, the new vocal direction at that point. But I think it works, especially on this album.
Yeah. Bobby, what about you?
I like it. One of the things that I found intriguing about it is that it starts from the end of the story.
Right.
And that was something that King never did before. Yeah. But musically, I mean, it was King Diamond, Right. I didn't really hear any change in like vocal style, in my opinion, but he was always doing those crazy voices.
Yeah. What'd you feel about him adding his I don't know if it was his wife at the time or his girlfriend or whatever?
I think they were just boyfriend and girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
She didn't marry him until maybe like 2 years after that, I believe. I could be wrong though, but then she started touring with him,
right,
backing him up, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Lisa, what about you? What about Midnight?
I love this intro. It's one of my favorite intros. It's because it's musical. It builds. It's kind of Sabbathy and doomy. It's kind of classical. There's all this tension that's building, and it's sung instead of a garbled spoken intro that you can only hear like the first half of, and then you can't understand a damn thing he's saying, which is what he usually does. Yeah. So I like it.
Very cool. Ralph.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first intro that he's singing?
I think it is.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a song, kind of short song, but it's really cool. And I didn't know this was the ending of it. I didn't really pay attention, but that's really cool. How he did About Face doing the end at the beginning and making it a song actually for an intro. I dig it a lot.
Greg.
Oh, it's a great intro. Great atmosphere, very creepy and eerie. One thing, even starting here on the prologue, the intro is I love how they use the keyboards on this. Lisa mentioned Sabbath. It made me think more of building to like a deep purplish type thing, which I kind of feel it does, but I love it. It's cool. And I thought Livia was a good addition. And I don't mean this in a critical way because I love King's vocals, you know, even on the previous albums when he would do the women's voices and all that. But it's cool to have her added because I feel like you get a different aspect to the story that really wasn't there before when he was doing everything himself. I don't think it takes anything away from it other than I think she honestly should have been higher in the mix.
I agree. There's people in the chat room, so if you guys want to add to what you think of each of these songs, let us know in the chat. So and then I'll tell them out on the show here. Second song, The Puppet Master. I love how this starts off with. It's very fast paced. Some great guitar melodies in between the verses. I'm already liking this album more than Abigail too. King's vocals are really flowing with the music, and it's what was missing from that last album. Alan, what do you feel about The Puppet Master?
Oh, it's a fantastic song. It's one of the best songs on the album, I think.
Right.
And I think lyrically, it's got some interesting lyrics. Some of the lyrics, if you take them out of there, they're not very King Diamond. What a magical mystery feeling, it's like some ABBA lyrics or something in there. But as a song, it works really well. There are some of the songs on this album that are like really good standalone songs, and this is one of them.
Yeah, Bobby.
I thought it was kind of cool that it was a Christmas themed song in a way. I mean, you don't get many King Diamond Christmas songs.
Yeah.
I like to also that it's a fast paced song. It got my blood racing right away.
All right, cool. Devil Dozer in the chat. Hello, greetings from Kansas. He loves The Puppet Master. Christmas Time in Budapest is probably one of my favorite lines sang from this album. Lisa?
Right on. Yeah, I love it. And I immediately was like, thank you, because I was disappointed with Abigail too. So this is just, it's like songwriting and storytelling, using the music to tell the story, using the melodies to tell the story. There's a point where he says, there's a crash, up goes a leg and down goes a head. And so he's using the music to tell the story. There's great solos. It's a catchy chorus. Maybe, it's a little, magical mystery feeling, but it's a song, man. It's a real song and it's memorable. Great solos. It's not just jamming words into some music to tell a story. It's actually telling a story.
Yeah. Ralph?
Nightmare in Budapest. Killer track, hard driving track. I love the little crunchy sections before it goes full blast. Another awesome song. I love it.
Greg?
I love this one, man. This just takes right off from the intro and evokes that total feel of like wintry despair that Locked Up in the Snow does on that Black Rose rehearsal, and that's what made me think of it. But I love it. It tells the story perfectly. The crunchy parts, the solos, all of it goes great. Some of the lyrics are a little odd, but it didn't bother me, and it's one of my favorite songs on it. And I think I said everything. Oh, love the rhythm section on this. This is really where you notice Matt Thompson taking off. I love the fills he does on here.
Yeah. And actually, at the end of this, I'll play an interview that me and Lisa did. Actually, it's part 2 of our interview with Matt Thompson. So stay tuned for that. Next song, Magic. Another fast-paced track. Match drumming, like you just mentioned, Greg, throughout this album is great. Again, the song is full of melody, guitar solos all over the place, catchy lyrics, and great chorus. Al, what do you think of Magic?
A few things. As I was looking back on the track notes on these,
Mhm.
I noticed that I think most of my favorite songs are Andy LaRocque songs on this album.
Okay.
Kind of like the major standalone songs were co-written with him, and the kind of filler songs are more King Diamond
Right.
solo type stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is one of my favorite songs. Just the guitar riffs, fantastic. The vocals, and it's kind of like King Diamond in Love. I think you could kind of
King Diamond was smitten on this album.
Yeah. There's great chorus on this one, and drumming's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's just a good one. One of the best songs on the album.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Matt really upped the game. In the interview I was watching as I was editing it a little bit, and he was talking about on Abigail too. When he recorded the drums, they had the triggers on the drums, and when you hit the drum with the trigger on it, it didn't really make any, like, he couldn't feel like a regular drum feel without a trigger on it. It was like dead in the sound. So I don't think he had it on this album, so he got to play more like his regular style. He got to feel like the drum kit. So I think that's what really brought out his drumming a lot more. Bobby, what do you think of Magic?
I like that it kept up the upbeat tempo.
Right.
And I mean, I like the lyrics, and the lyrics are kind of I don't know. You kind of wonder if he's talking about he's witnessing a ritual, or some kind of the magic, but is it evil? Is it coming up from below? And the solos, man. I mean, they trade off some incredible solos in this song. It's just how.
Yeah, this is I think one of the best albums. Like in the later ones with the guitar solos, they're just everything. Well, he's got Mike Weed in the band now too, so just between him and Andy LaRocque, they're just like a great duo. Yep. Lisa.
Yeah, I think it's a great track. It rocks. It almost has like this album-oriented rock kind of melodic sense to it. And, as a songwriting team, this time, as opposed to Abigail, it seems like they really focused on working together and making something, working around the chorus and then outward from there. It's got this really catchy chorus. Boy, and an insane solo in there, and he hams it up, at this point when the ghost is like breathing on him. That's one thing I have an issue with, though. There's a couple of loose threads, I think, in this story, and maybe there were some things that ended up, probably thankfully, on the cutting room floor. And it's this thing about this ghost breathing on him and saying, "Kiss her." And who is this ghost? Who the fuck is this ghost? So anyway, that's the only negative thing for me, but the rest, I love it.
Yeah. Ralph.
This song is fucking magic. Guitars, drums, vocals, bass, keyboards, all just fit perfect, amazingly. Solo's amazing. It reminds me a little bit of Michael Schenker, the guitar solo on this. Awesome tune, love it. Magic is magic.
Greg.
This is my favorite song on the record, dude. It's awesome. And this is what I was saying was I really feel like this is where they came full circle and sort of reimagined the classic King Diamond sound with other shit, because you got Andy LaRocque doing his more melodic solos, and Mike Weed total has that new wave of British heavy metal crunched his guitar on this. And I think he got a lot of that from Merciful Fate. But to me, this sounds like King Diamond going total Bay Area thrash. This is like King Diamond doing Wake Up Dead almost.
Right.
The guitar solos are awesome. The choruses are memorable. There's just that super punchy thrash backbone to it between the bass and the drums, man. It's one of my favorite songs he's ever done, honestly. And the different parts to it just meld together beautifully. But to me, I didn't think an album-oriented rock. I mean, it still has a little bit of that Deep Purple feel to it, but it sounds like total Bay Area thrash to me. Just as catchy and memorable as Jump in the Fire.
Wow.
Although with much better musicianship.
Devil Dozer wants to know, in this album, the CD version, there is a DVD.
It's
and
the Storyteller video.
It was a storyteller thing, and King's telling the stories of each song. Did everybody watch that? What are your thoughts on that?
I watched it today, actually.
Oh yeah,
Me
what do
too.
you think about
I
that?
feel very weird about it is it's daytime. You notice that? Like if you look at the background, it's like
Yeah.
why didn't you do it at nighttime? He has a candle there.
Right.
But it's still cool. I mean, it's
Good
cool. But
point.
the daytime thing kind of like throws me off.
Yeah, a little bit. Lisa, did you get to watch it?
I did get to watch it. That was very cool.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
It's
but
interesting.
yeah, that's true. It's like the sun is shining through the window. What's going on here? Like, well, that's when the videographer could show up, and that was it.
Why is the candle lit? You know, it's daytime.
What about you, Al? What did you think of that DVD? Did you watch it?
Way back when I first got the CD of this, it came in a package with the CD and the DVD.
Yeah.
And I watched it. I was pretty hyped up to get home and watch it. And
Right.
then, it just turned out to be King in his home office with a couple of candles telling the story. So it was a little bit of a letdown. I think this time I went back and I actually read the lyrics, which I had never done before.
Right.
Because I think this is one of the albums where you can kind of just listen to it and get most of the story.
Right.
And the lyrics are actually pretty cool. As you were saying, there are a few weird kind of plot holes in there, but in general, it's he tells the story pretty well. But you might as well just listen to the thing,
Yeah.
You get most of it from just listening to it.
Yeah. What about you, Bobby? Did you watch the DVD?
Shame on me, I have not. I've only seen clips from it. Didn't it only come in the collector's edition or deluxe edition or something like that?
Probably. It should have been.
Yeah, they called it the Puppet Master Deluxe Edition. It was the first. Yeah.
Actually, the whole thing's up on YouTube.
Yeah. It's only like a half hour. It definitely did not come with the record. I got the record and didn't come with the record.
Right on.
Nice.
It's shiny.
I have to say, I thought it was much cooler when I first got it and watched it, but that was also I had just smoked a blunt before that, so I'm like, oh, cool, man, tell a story. And then I rewatched it this week, and that was the first thing I noticed was this is still pretty cool, but it's daytime, and that's strange.
I thought it was cool that he was actually telling about the story. He really didn't have to, like you said, Al, he didn't really have to tell because he does a very good job in the album itself to tell this story. It's kind of easy to follow, I think, except for that ghost thing. I don't know. But,
he said something about all the ghosts in the theater or something, and it was like a ghost in the theater.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't get that either because when he's describing, the process later about the puppets, like it didn't bother me when I was first listening to it, but I went back, read the lyrics, watched the DVD thing again. He mentions that the souls are trapped in the dolls. I don't understand how the ghosts can be hanging around touching them, warning about shit when they're stuck in the puppet, but
it makes sense somehow. Willie Survive is in the chat. He says, "What's up?" And Irish Metal Mike, he says, "Hello, first time checking out this show, and greetings from Emerald Isle." And he says to tell Bobby hello. So
hey, what's up, brother?
All right, move along the album here. Next song, Emerencia. Listening to the way King tells the story in the song, you can picture everything in your head that's going on. How he describes everything, like Emerencia being 300 pounds of flesh, watching her go down the stairs, the knife in her hand, the moon, it all just gets set up in a scene in your head. Again, catchy song. I love Livia's parts. Her vocals being on the album, I think, really make the story come to life. I love the part where it slows down and it's just her singing over some melodies, which sounded very Merciful Fate-ish to me. What do you think, Al?
I think it was a pretty good song. It moves the story along more than anything. As a song, it's definitely darker than the other previous tracks. And one of the things I was thinking of when I was listening to this song is I think it's on the Conspiracy album. I don't know what format it is, but it comes with a comic book. There's a maybe it was the CD version. It comes with a little comic book of King Diamond.
It a 2-page, I have it on vinyl, but it's a 2-page insert with like comics on either sides. It's not really a full book, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
There's a little comic depiction. And so I figured if that's official, then in these stories, King Diamond's wearing the makeup. So he's, King Diamond in the story. And I'm thinking, well, if she's going to turn him into a puppet, is he still going to have the makeup when he's a puppet? You're going to recognize that's him, in the stage. That's one of those weird little holes in the story. But that's just what I was thinking when I was listening to this one.
What about you, Bobby?
Creepy, man. This one's creepy. She kills a homeless guy in the alley and he sees it, via the moonlight. And yeah, like you said, it's just Emerencia, the puppet master's wife, and she's 300 pounds, and you see her shuffling down the alleyway, sneaking up on the homeless guy. I mean, creepy, man.
Yeah.
You can picture it in your head, like you said. It's very, very good.
I like some of the things that he doesn't hear, like the one line, "I wonder why you left the door ajar." And then the music just stops and it kicks back in. I like.
I just think, you big dummy. It's like I hear Red Fox in my head. You big dummy! Don't go in that door, you idiot!
Big dummy.
Lisa.
Yeah, the first thing I wrote down was creepy. That's the word I wrote down on my notes. And then the drums come in and is real storytelling with the music again. Yeah. So for those of you out there who are songwriters and you're telling a story, if you have a song that's a story, you can use the music to be part of your story. So it gets quiet when he's creeping around, he's searching in the dark. It gets quiet again as he's secretly witnessing the crime. So it has mystery, it has dynamics. It's not just all up here or all down here. And I love at the end when they go, and then the blow, and he's, oh. So I like it. Oh, here's one question I have.
Yeah.
If she doesn't want to spill a drop of blood, why stab the victim at all? Why not just do what you did to King, just whack him on the head? Mm-hmm. I don't understand that.
That is true. That is true. What about you, Ralph?
This one, I love that line where he says how strange it is in darkness, blood is black, not red.
Yeah.
I think that's just so cool.
Yeah.
Killer riffs. Love the changes on this, and hate to make this brief, but it's another killer song. This album's awesome.
So I remember that line. It used to be one of my favorite lines from this whole album. I used to think of that all the time. Greg?
Yeah, that's my favorite King Diamond line on here too. And I just, when he's first describing her and the way he says Emerencia, you can just picture him staring at this woman in this alleyway and sneering. But I love the ending. It's my favorite part. It's got some really cool riffs in here, and I like most of the changes, and I'm sure some of you guys may even agree with me, being musicians. What I miss about the LP format is things had to pretty much be 45 to 50 minutes. And with some of these newer albums, he's not quite as succinct as he used to be. And this is another one where it's just like a minute too long and meanders just a little bit. It's better for the story than it really is music. It kind of loses me on this track and another one later on. The next one, actually, for the same reason. Just too much shoved lyrically into one song.
Falcon Crypto. What's up, metalheads listening from Central Jersey? Next song, Blue Eyes. Again, it's easy to picture this story playing out in your head. The way he vividly describes everything, how he's in the basement and then he sees the eyes of his love. Cool intro with the harpsichord or whatever that thing is, and then kicking into the song, which is kind of upbeat for a song with these kind of lyrics. I love how King makes that kind of music work. Like there's always like this happy music, but yet he's talking about something dark and disturbing, whatever. I like how he does that. Al?
This one, another thing I was questioning in the story is why did she go out alone to the puppet theater? I don't think he ever explains that, because he goes after her.
Right.
but it's not really clear why she left or returned to the theater by herself.
Yeah, I don't know. You're bringing those deep questions. I don't know. I can't answer.
I thought this one kind of was a good. I don't want to call it a filler song, but it kind of recalls the themes of, I think, some of the other songs, maybe the Puppet Master itself. So it's another one that kind of just moves the story along. Very descriptive and pretty good song.
Bobby.
Descriptive as fuck. I mean, King Diamond's got away with words, you know.
Yeah.
The eyes in the dark and eyes I recognize. The best part for me is when he describes them being sacks of skin filled with skeleton bones, and they're made from humans, you know, human bones, and eyes in the night. I see eyes in the night. I recognize, you know, and then you know right away when he says that whose eyes they are,
Right,
you know.
right.
But he doesn't, you know. I mean, this is one of his creepier stories, I think.
Yeah,
You know?
I think so too.
I agree though with what he said about his delivery being a little muted, being a little bit. I don't think he got that fire back until House of God. I mean, I love House of God. I think that's a very underrated album.
Yeah.
I really like that a lot.
Cool.
But we're not talking about House of God right now. So.
No, we did that one already. Sorry, you joined too late.
Yeah.
Lisa.
Well, it's not my favorite song, but it's still a cool song. I love Olivia's voice.
Yeah.
It kind of meanders in places, you know, like Greg was saying. It does have some cool bass parts. Some things I miss about these albums after Timmy Hansen wasn't involved is that Timmy would always come up with bass lines that were separate from the guitars,
Right.
that would maybe go along with the drums. And, you know, this has more of that modern era, post Metallica. The bass plays along with the guitar. It is like the filler. And so there's parts in here where Hal is playing stuff that's standing out and doing something different. And so it's pretty cool. But in general, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite song, but it moves the story along.
Ralph.
We are on Blue Eyes.
Blue
right?
Eyes, yeah.
Man, when this song kicks in, it's got no time to play games, and it doesn't have any time for your shenanigans. I love her voice. The female vocals incorporated in this is awesome.
Very cool.
I love this whole album. Spoiler, but yeah, this is a great song. This is one of the standouts for me. I really like it.
Greg.
I really, really love this song when it first starts off, and then it meanders a little bit, which drives me nuts because this totally kicks off with, again, that little multi-layered thrash and Old Merciful Fate feeling to it. Held at one point during the solo, Patino and Thompson do this thing that, not that it sounds like the same rhythm riff from Satan's Fall, but it just reminds me of how Timmy and Kim had that interplay. It's really cool. But yeah, as much as I like Livia's vocals, they really only needed to do that little Blue Eyes thing once. We didn't need that repeated in the song. Rock or just I love his descriptions because he's very good at it, very visual, and moves the story along good. But much like Iron Maiden's Quest for Fire, too many words, man.
It's better than that song, though.
Oh, it's
hey man, you know, riding dinosaurs. Come on.
The Ritual. I think this is my favorite track on the album. I hear some things musically that bring me back to the eye. Again, it's very catchy, and pretty much like every song on the album except maybe the next song, Christmas, and this song can stand on its own. I think almost every song on this album can kind of stand on its own, except for a few. Al.
Yeah, I think this is another Andy LaRoche penned song. And the music is a little different. It's got kind of like a shuffling drum beat in the intro.
Right.
And it's got some more groovy riffs and really great soloing by Andy on this.
Bobby.
The Ritual. I'm trying to remember. You know, I feel bad because I didn't know that this was that kind of a podcast for you, where you took down notes. Because I thought everybody just gets together. It's about King, but
That's right. Just pretend.
I mean, atmosphere. I mean, like he said, and Andy LaRocca is a different kind of a player, but that the groove kind of took me aback because I wasn't used to that. Really coming from him. Oh shit, my cat.
That's all right.
Soon we will see your cat's butt.
Rena, get down. She's old. She suddenly became a lap cat. She's 12, going on 13 years old, and never used to want to climb in my lap. Never used to come up over here up by the computer. And all of a sudden, she started doing it. So it worries me a little bit because they say when they start doing that, they might be in the twilight years. You know,
Yeah, it's possible.
She's my sweetheart. I
My
love
cat's the same way. She don't want to be held or nothing. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to
her.
Lisa.
You know,
The Ritual.
it's not a Zoom meeting until you see a cat's asshole,
Yeah, right.
right? Because they always jump on the owner and they face the owner. So the ass is facing the camera. So I don't think I've been to a single Zoom anything without some cat butthole pointed at me, but it's a love thing. She loves you.
She does.
This
She
song,
wants to come back again. No,
yeah, she's coming back. That's fine. Come along. She loves King Diamond. Come on.
no feline balloon knot. Yeah, she's a black cat too.
There you go.
I
There
have
you go.
two black ones.
Fits in perfectly. So it doesn't have a strong chorus, but this song, it's got shit tons of riffs, lots of killer riffs, badass riffage, repeating melodies that are hooky, even though the chorus isn't like a repeating vocal line or repeating lyric. It has a repeating melody that's hooky. And this is an example of pacing in an album. I remember, here's the thing. I was not hip to the Puppet Master when it came out. I was busy doing other shit, working musician. I got into, like funk and stuff like that. And so I missed out on this until later on. And it was just some years ago, maybe within the last 10 years, that I put this on my phone and I took it along with me on a plane trip. And I thought, I gotta check this out. I never checked this album out. And I remember just sitting on the plane going, oh my God, this album is so good as an album. And so here's another tip, those songwriters out there and album makers, the problem I had with Abigail was it's just like, we need to make a really aggressive album. So let's just make all the songs aggressive, one after another. And it's like, no, if you want to tell a story and have an album, you need to have an arc. You need to have it, as a whole. It's not just about the songs telling a story. As a whole, they need to, you need to take the tempo down. So I was like, yes, this album has pacing. And that's what I like about the song and about where it is on the album.
Yeah.
So that's my rant for the day.
Ralph.
The Ritual. Andy is so godly on the song. Those riffs and the solo slay. Mid-tempo tune. Heavy metal rules, man.
I don't know about that. Craig.
Ralph summed it up pretty
That's it.
total headbanger.
That's all you get.
Great. I mean, to be honest, the riffs and the melodies, especially on this, are so catchy and great. I have no idea exactly what the fuck the full lyrics are to this because I was more focused on the guitars.
Yeah.
No, I did write down something about the lyrics. These are probably the most gruesome ones on here because he's describing the ritual and ripping the eyes out with the scalpel and injecting the blood and all that. And he just says it with such ghostly relish. I love it.
What does ghostly relish taste like?
Kind of bland. Actually, would it taste like Ecto Cooler?
It tastes like chicken.
Everything tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken, yeah.
Well, since it is a horror story, maybe it'd be like Austin Powers' Baby, the other white meat.
No more me, and I wish there was no more of you. This one isn't for the weak stomached. I've said a few times how King is describing the story as you can picture it. Well, this one kind of gets really graphic, and those screams he does is literally it's kind of disturbing. Lyrically, this song is I like how it tells all the things of them ripping his eyes out and all that stuff like that, even though it's terrible to hear it, but it makes the song, and I love it. I think it's a really good track. What about you, Al?
This one's got some interesting music. It's kind of starts with like an organ waltz.
Yeah.
Calliope.
And then it turns into like a heavier plodding song. And then it's really like one of those parts of the concept where it kind of moves things along, very descriptive. And I just love the part at the end where he says that Emerencia throws his carcass in the trash.
Yeah. It's funny we can laugh all about it, right? Is his face still painted? Bobby, no more me.
This is like the payoff song, isn't it? This is like when he's getting turned into the puppet. And I remember the lines about cutting the eyelids off with the scalpel and falling into jars and no more me at all. He's talking about I have no eyes. I have no eyes. Yeah, it's a fucked up song.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Lisa,
skin from my bones and his veins being like worms in the sun or something drying in the sun. Yeah, it's fucked up. Sick.
It is.
You can curse on here, right?
Yeah, why not? Go ahead.
I know I will, so you might as well. I'm restraining myself. Again, I wrote down the word creepy. Creepy.
Filthy New Jersey mouth over here.
Hey, I married a New Jersey guy. I married a Jersey boy, and I'm the one that swears and not him as much.
No. That's different.
Yeah, I know. So hammy too. I gotta have my hammy King Diamond, man. It can't just be all it's gotta be my eyes and shit, I love this because I love the circusy waltz and all that stuff. And the drummer Matt gets writing credit on this. I know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if this is something they worked up in the studio, but these echoed guitars, it's like this guitar effect. I don't know. It sounds like, you're rolling off the volume pickup, but I know it's an effect really. While he's hamming it up, and if you got headphones on, it's kind of going from one side to the other, and all his blood in little jars. And seeing her throw his carcass in the trash. I mean, it's just really horrific. This has got to be one of the most horrific, straight up horror, because most of his stuff is like creepy shit.
Right.
And the creepiest thing is, we got to stab this little baby in order to stop her evil, and you're like, oh, that's terrible. But no, this is way worse.
Ralph?
Strange intro on this one, almost circusy music. Demented and fucking awesome, man. I love the swirling keyboards in this track.
Yeah,
pretty epic. I dig it.
Greg?
Yeah, definitely easily the creepiest and most unsettling on the album, and actually the lyrics to this tune I was thinking about. So yeah, the riffs were so good on the Ritual, I totally fucking forgot what it was about. But anyway,
I thought you went a little too far there, but I was letting you go.
but one thing that was in the Ritual that they carry over here that I like in this too. Lisa mentioned Sabbath earlier, and they mentioned the groove in the song before. They kind of do like early Sabbath jazz fusion type sound on the Ritual, and then carry over some doomy guitars into this. I really like that. I thought it was cool. But yeah, good song. Very unsettling, especially starting off with that friggin' gallopy music, man. I do not like that shit, but it's very effective.
Yeah, it works here. Blood to Walk. I believe this was the first song released for the album. I remember really liking it, and I still do. Again, some really cool parts on here that reminded me of earlier albums. Al, what do you think of Blood to Walk?
Yeah, it's my recollection. This was the first single.
Yeah.
So it did get me really hyped up about this one because it was like a comeback, based on the previous album. But it was kind of a downer in that I don't think they ever came out with any videos for this album.
No.
It was kind of his commercial low point or close to it.
Yeah.
And when I got that DVD, I was expecting like a conceptual music video or something.
Right.
It ended up being just King in an Office.
Yeah. During the day.
Yeah, during the day, maybe a candle. They sprung for some candles for him. I don't think he got tour support. I think it was a pretty low time for him. But this is a really great song. I think I rank it as my third favorite song on the album. It's got great drumming, fantastic riff. This is the song that I think the lyrics are the least important on. It's like the most standalone song where it's just kind of like, this is about a puppet thing, and here's a cool song, and just check this out.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Cool. Bobby, Blood to Walk.
Yeah, this one is very much an Andy LaRocque style tune. I remember it was the single, right? You said the first one.
Yeah.
And I mean, lyrically, I only remember him talking about being on the shelf and he can't move and he sees Victoria and he knows it's her. And I guess it's pretty torturous when you're sitting there on a shelf and you're a puppet and staring at the woman you love, who's also, I guess, a puppet, right? By now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's a cool tune. It's a cool song.
Cool. Lisa.
Yeah, it's a cool song. It brings the tempo and the energy back up. And again, there's that pacing in the album. So, we're changing things up. But this is actually a King Diamond composition. And although, when you're arranging with somebody, LaRocque is going to add his flavor to it. But there's this point where it goes to this F sharp minor. I'm like, yep, we're back in the day, old Merciful Fate day. We're in F sharp pentatonic minor playing some groovy thing with the flat 5 going on. I actually picked up my bass and was playing along. And so the only thing that I think with the story that it moves along, because it is more puppet stuff, is something about our minds are now in our eyes. And so that's all they are. And it's almost, it kind of reminds me of that Metallica song, the guy in the hospital bed. Yeah. And that's all he's got. He's just, he can't communicate, which is just horrific.
Yeah. Did you ever watch that movie, by the way? Johnny Got His Gun.
I have.
Johnny Got His Gun? No, I never did.
Yeah, it's a very disturbing movie.
I couldn't sit through the whole thing.
My grandfather made me watch it. Falcon
video, you kind of saw it anyway.
Yeah, you kind of did. Falcon Crypto, this is great. I'm listening to the tracks as you review them. Cool. That's a good way to watch the show. Ralph, what do you think of? I forgot what we're even on.
Blood to Walk.
Blood to Walk. Yeah.
It sounds kind of like some Megadeth riffs in this. Those riffs really, they're very Megadeth to me. The later riffs in the song is pure metallic. Another killer tune. Love it.
Yeah. Devil Dozer says, Ralph, love your Kiss Wednesday episodes. And he wants Lisa to sing a line from the Puppet Master.
God, do I even remember any of these lines from the Puppet Master? Like I said, man, I didn't like, do this album a lot. Let me see what the lyrics are.
It's a magical
In the meantime,
mystery feeling.
it's a magical mystery feeling. I remember that.
There it is.
There it is. Here's your line.
Is that good enough for you, Devil Dozer? Greg.
This is a total classic. This album's Welcome Home, I wrote down. I can totally see why it was the first single. Everything about it is catchy. And it's got those, like I was saying about the earlier song and Magic, and Ralph mentioned too, those Megadeth type riffs. Just a total banger, man. Old school, but fresh.
Darkness, second favorite song on the album. It has those overused Egyptian guitar chords that I always talk about, getting sick of hearing. But going on, chords going on. But there's so many cool parts in the song. I'll let it slide. It also reminds me of the Mad Arab from the Merciful Fate song. A bit. Oh, I'm reading this stupidly. From the Merciful Fate song, a bit. And that chorus is really catchy with Olivia trading the vocals off with King. Al, what do you think?
This is my favorite song on the album. I think it's got a few different peaks. It kind of, as a song, it has a good arc where it starts off kind of slow and it picks up a lot. It's got, I think, my favorite Andy LaRocque solo, and the bridge part is one of the best parts on the song.
Yeah.
So it kind of like builds to a chorus, and this is lyrically, it's kind of describing the process by which the puppet master revives them with blood, and then toward the end of it, that's where Victoria starts dancing. It's kind of the crux of the whole story, where things go bad and she gets banished to Berlin. So this is like all the best parts of the whole concept kind of just come together in this song. It's really cool.
Yeah. And I guess you did okay. Lisa Devil Dozer said thanks and gave it the horn sign. So you did good.
I tried. I know this album as well.
Yeah, Bobby.
I totally dig the Egyptian stuff too, man. I mean, that was, you're talking that goes all the way back to Merciful Fate. You know, Matt Arab, totally, man. Matt Arab. Matter of fact, I think I played the Matt Arab part 2 last week on my show.
Which one do you like better, the first one or the second one?
It's so hard to say, man. I don't know. I might lean towards the second one.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of cool the way they continued it. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it brings the story around full circle. You know. But yeah, I mean, Darkness was good, man. It was a good way to end the album. You know, talking about his wife dancing and all at the end was pretty creepy. You know, you could kind of see it. You know, in your mind's eye, you could see her dancing around like a puppet and shit. It was pretty disturbing.
Lisa.
I thought this was really unique and almost like symphonic metal. It almost sounded like some kind of like symphonic black metal or something, with these really fast drums, these double kicks and the organ and the female vocals. You know, it's definitely very European. There's so and I heard those Egyptian, you know, all those harmonic minor shit going on. I was like, Wayne's gonna hate this song. The Mad Arab. You would understand. You know. But here's the thing. We're living through our memories and it's worth it. I was like, it's worth it. Okay, yeah, the whole like my veins are like worms drying in the sun and all this stuff. It was worth it. Totally worth it to sit here and just stare at you on a shelf. I just don't get that line. That's it. The rest of it's great.
Ralph. Oh, you're on mute, Ralph.
No, I'm not. I was just messing. I love the vibe on this one, man. Those riffs set such a mood. Yeah, the Egyptian type thing, and it gets a little bit convoluted in spots, but I still think it's an ass kicker. I dig it.
Greg.
Well, one thing first, I'm going to track back to Blood to Walk for a second, just because
we can't do that.
About the lyrics. Well, I have to mention it because it was the most what the fuck thing for me lyrically on the album, and where that song can stand on its own, but in lyrics to it in the chorus, when Blood to Walk, Blood to See, that was the one that really made me go, what the fuck? Because from the intro, he's talking about like trapped and can't move, but can see everything. Now, all of a sudden in the song, to make it fit, they have to inject them with blood to see too. It didn't make any sense. But
well,
anyway.
not him, everybody else. Right? Are his eyes immortal because he got the blood splattered in his eyes?
That's what confused. I thought, but I could have sworn in the song that he said he needed to be injected to see too, and that just really confused me.
Me too.
But Darkness is cool.
Too much.
It's got several different parts. It's got that real cool bluesy beginning, and you know the different vocals, the Egyptian riffs, and the solo sections. My favorite part of the song, along with the drums. It's got again that real new wave of British heavy metal, almost Maiden feel to it. The way they trade off the solos and all, and the drums are kick ass.
Yeah. So sad. The title of the song says it all. The story is heartbreaking. Sometimes I feel like the song is hard to listen to. Not because I don't like it, but King did a great job on making you feel these characters, and having Livia sang at the end, I can't see you anymore. And King says, goodbye. Good song, but tough to listen to. Al?
Yeah, this is the ballad on the album.
Yeah.
The music gets very sparse. It has a cool bridge with the solo part. And I felt that the riff was kind of fade to blackish. I noticed a little fade to black in there. Lyrically, he used the metaphor of the butterfly, which kind of suggests the metamorphosis of him turning into a puppet too, which is kind of cool. I thought that was a nice lyrical moment there. And he actually says, "I love you." So. King Diamond says, "I love you." That's all I have to say about this.
Bobby.
I'll tell you, I thought that the solo was kind of heartfelt in it, and like you said about the music being sparse, it kind of like colors the story, though, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember this one reminded me of the movie Leptirica, because he starts talking about the butterfly, and I don't know if you ever saw Leptirica, but it translates to the she butterfly. It's actually a vampire story. So the very first Serbian horror movie. So check it out. It's historical. But that's pretty much that's, you know, I guess it didn't stick with me.
Yeah.
Much.
Yeah, it's just
but I do remember that. Remember that reminded me of Leptirica. It was pretty cool.
Lisa.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a slow pace. It's a love story. It's like King Diamond's doing a love story. Now I've fucking heard everything, man. But I'm sorry. Here's the thing. I don't understand this butterfly thing. Do you remember the butterfly? And I'm looking through the lyrics. I'm scrolling. Right. Butterfly. On their first date, they saw a butterfly. It's like, no, and we dried it up, and it's like, you did what? So that makes me, oh God, what the fuck is with this ghost and with this butterfly? And my eyes can see because the blood spilled, but now they don't. But that's okay, because I like Game of Thrones, and they did plenty of that kind of shit, you know. It's like, hey, let's go over here. Okay, then let's don't. I think maybe it's a part of the storyline that got cut.
It could be
that they edited it down, because basically he's kissing her. We're in love, and then boom, it's a year later. So I think there's a song that got cut from the album. That's my thought process. But yes, we can still see it as a thank you, Al, because now we can see it. I can see it as a metaphor. Otherwise, it's like, oh, what butterfly?
Ralph, do you see the metaphor?
All I know is that this song always gets something in my eye. I'm not crying, but there's always something in my eye when I hear this song. It's so sad. And I love Livia's voice on this, and it's great. It brings like a different tempo to the album, a different sound. I love it. I think it's great. I love everything on this album.
Apparently. Greg.
Love the duet vocals, very emotional, brings a love story together. But this is another one where, outside of the duet vocals and the really good guitar solo, a little too long for me. Meanders a little bit too much. It's one of them ones where it's like, all right, get to the fucking point. We get it. The butterfly. Christ. It's a metaphor. I get it. I don't need you to repeat it 4 times.
Oh, so you did get the metaphor. I didn't get the metaphor.
Yeah, I got the metaphor, but I had to go back and look at the lyrics like Lisa was saying, because the way he described it, I just remembered him saying that they saw a butterfly, not that they fucking pinned it and did all this other shit.
Where, Greg? Where did they say they saw a butterfly?
Greg's got the bonus track.
I don't.
It is mine, man.
Says it when he's talking about when they're on that date. I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not.
And now you're making shit up. Christmas. I remember hearing this for the first time. I'm like, what the fuck is this? There's a song about the little drummer boy now. King's doing a song about the drummer boy. That's where we're going.
Full circle, man.
Yeah, I know. I thought maybe we're getting
album.
Yeah, it's like Die Hard. I thought maybe we're getting
more of Full Moon Films' Puppet Master series, but
I thought maybe we're getting No Presents for Christmas Part 2 or something, but we got neither of those. This is probably my least favorite song on the album, but only because I feel like it's a song you can't just listen to outside the context of the album. There are parts I really like on it, though, and King does one of his great laughs towards the end.
Mm-hmm. That's
Al, yeah. Al, what do you think about Christmas?
So yeah, there are a couple of things about this song. As you said, it's not a great standalone song, but it really works into the concept.
Yeah.
And lyrically, going back on this, I noticed a few things which basically came to mind. I think if you keep in mind that King is satanic, he's
right.
a follower of Satanism,
Hmm.
it makes a lot of sense. This is a Christmas song and a Christmas album. So what he does is he actually takes the Christmas concept and turns it on its head. So he's got the Christians oppressing the puppet master is the Christian, right. And his wife is the Christian, and they're actually oppressing the Satanists and killing them. That's what's cool about this. Lyrically. So he's actually he's making a criticism of Christianity by making a Christmas album. Makes the Christians the monsters. Also, I was thinking how cool it would be. It's been 20 years since this album came out.
Yeah.
And what happened to the Puppet Master 2, where basically it's like the Great Puppet Caper, where he goes off and tries to find his girlfriend, goes to Berlin.
Great Puppet Caper.
He escapes from the shop, and we follow the puppet across Europe.
That could be awesome. He could be like a little vampiric puppet with his little syringe sucking blood out of the fucking Nazis.
Yeah, that's a new concept album.
Don't give him any ideas. Bobby?
I hate this fucking song. Sorry, I got to be honest. I hate this fucking song. I used to skip it. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it, man.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
At the end is the best part. I mean, I kept thinking of fucking Geppetto and Pinocchio. So I didn't like it. What do you want me to do? Lie? I'm not going to lie.
Don't lie. That's why I want you on the show. Lisa. But thanks. King Diamond will not come on our show now. Thank you.
Just blame it on me.
They don't like my music.
When I tell him I had a triple bypass too, he'll,
All right, that makes things a lot better.
Kindred spirits.
He'll bond.
Yeah.
Lisa, Christmas.
Well, it's got some cool stuff in it. It's got some cool stacked chords in it. It's a King Diamond composition, but again, I think, it sounds like he and Andy were really working hand in hand, and Andy had a hand in arranging this song. And so there's cool stacked chords and stuff and some cool bluesy riffs, but it is meandering. And it also it has a cool laugh. Some cool solos, but there's one solo, I think it was like the first solo. I think it's Mike Wheat, and it's just over shred. And it's not tasteful, and it's just kind of like, what are you doing, man? What are you high? I don't know. So that was kind of weird. And also in the story, he's like, well, I'm just gonna screw up the show. I gotta find my girlfriend, so I'm gonna fall down and break my drum, and I'll show you. And you see how that worked out, huh?
Ralph.
I love it. Though I will say it is my least favorite on here because the little beginning with the ba da ba ba bum, it's kind of a little too hokey, but hey, but it's metal, man. It's so metal, it's not funny. I'm not laughing. But King laughs on this track, and I always welcome his wicked laugh.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah, it's a headbanging tune in spots, and Hail Santa.
Greg.
It's okay. I mean, I personally like the little drummer boy intro because it ties in well at the beginning and brings it back full circle to the beginning of the story, because that was the puppet that mesmerized King's character in the first place. But lyrically, it makes no fucking sense. He's gonna screw up the show and go search for his girlfriend, but he needs an injection of blood every hour to stay mobile. Like, it's worse written than a Schwarzenegger movie in that one part. Sorry, King, but love you, man. But that one really bugged me a little bit. Horrible plan.
Well, is there somebody else running? Because he sent her to Berlin, and there's another theater. So is there another puppet master over there injecting blood and with big fat wife killing people and shit? I mean, seriously, I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, Puppet Master 3, the movie, did take Berlin.
Mad.
Not sure if there's a connection, but that solo that comes out of nowhere, as much as I like the solo, that did bug me because it's like, what the fuck?
It's not appropriate. It's
nothing to do with the rest of it. But not one of my favorites, but I do like it. The one thing that really just kills it and stops it dead, though, is when they do that second little drummer boy thing. They were on a roll. It was building up to that fast part. They should have just let him describe his fall and all that shit throughout the driving part of it. They didn't need to stop and go, po rum pa bum bum. I don't need Jimmy fucking Dorsey twice on a King. But I'm glad Al said that, because I get it a little bit more now. That never occurred to me before.
Boy, Al, we brought a lot of insight to these songs.
Yeah, well, that's why it's been fascinating to me to hear you guys take on it, because I'm like, what in the hell? And you're like, no, it's cool. Get it. Check it. Metaphor, man.
The final song, Living Dead. Pretty decent ending to the album. It's like the album started at a fast pace, it ended on a fast pace. And I kind of like the acoustic outro of the song. It's pretty cool. I don't know. The song's not really that memorable to me. I don't think it's like the best ending song that they've ever done. And even me and Greg talked about this earlier. It kind of doesn't feel like an ending to the album, really, in a way. It should maybe feels like a middle of the album type song, but it's a decent song. What about you, Al?
Well, the ending piece is that he throws in that kind of plot twist where watch out, the puppet master's coming to London, His kids are starting a new puppet theater for kids, It's like, oh, watch out.
Rumors, man.
It just kind of wraps up the album, and that gets thrown in there. It feels like kind of a bonus track. yeah, I
It's
think
there.
just overall, you know, if you analyze it like we're analyzing it, it can seem kind of like a hokey concept, and there are a lot of holes in it. But if you're just sitting and listening to the album, it's actually a really entertaining
It is.
concept, just for a straight listen.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Bobby?
I was glad that the album ended on an upbeat song. The ending was kind of reminiscent of the end of Heaven and Hell, with the outro being a mellow acoustic. It was cool. I mean, I personally prefer the upbeat King Diamond songs. I mean, I get it that he's got to throw a couple mid-tempo and slower ones in there, but I just like faster stuff, unless I'm listening to Sabbath or Doom or something, Yeah, well, Destruction is my fucking favorite, man. I mean, I like it. They get my blood fucking going. But King was very influential on me when I was starting out. I mean, the first demo I did in 1989, it was kind of half Merciful Fate, half Exciter, because they were like my two favorite bands at the time were Merciful Fate and Exciter. So King was I wore the makeup and everything. I wore, corpse paint and everything, my own little thing. But I mean, I love my King Diamond, don't get me wrong, but I do prefer the more up tempo, mid to up tempo stuff. So I mean, listen, the Puppet Master is better than Voodoo, that's for sure. I mean,
what? Get the hell out of here.
Really?
I had an argument with my old co-host.
Well, now you're gonna have an argument with me, goddammit.
He liked Voodoo better. I was like, I don't know.
Now, Voodoo's a great album.
All his fucking albums are good. I mean, he never made an album that sucks. I have arguments with people about "Give Me Your Soul, Please," because I know a few people are like, "Oh, that album sucks. Oh, this and that. Oh, the first song sounds like Painkiller." All kinds of.
Boo-hoo.
But I mean, the album is way better than people give it credit for. So we're gonna be doing that one next, right? So I want to listen to that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Lisa.
Yeah, it's a sad ending. Jeez, man, it's dismal. But he also sets it up. I mean, lyrically, he's really set it up, man, for that sequel. And it's like sometimes, like I found out this show Night Sky that I really like. It's on Amazon, about these aliens and this old couple that find this portal to alien worlds or something in their basement. And now they're not going to do season 2. I was like really invested in this fucking show, and now they're not going to do season 2. So now it's like there's going to be another puppet show for kids. In London, and he's hanging on for 18 years. I mean, 18 years. So I think he had plans for like 18 years later. Somebody comes in the puppet shop and, "Oh, I'm from Berlin and I got a puppet that with blue eyes that would go great with this puppet." So, I was, hoping for part 2. It's not musically the strongest thing, but it has cool dynamics. And it also has this like Muppet groove that I call it the Muppet groove.
Every album
King
has
Diamond Muppet groove. We can just imagine dancing around like this.
Full electric mayhem.
But yeah, I'm waiting for, please live long enough, dude, to make Puppet Master 2, because I want to hear it.
Puppet Master 2, The Electric Boogaloo.
The Electric Boogaloo.
Ralph,
Well, I gotta say,
stop looking at porn and let's finish the show.
I gotta say this. They say the what a song, man! Those killer riffs and tempo changer are just perfect. This is my favorite track off the album. I love it.
What? Really?
Yeah. Right.
To each their own.
Hey, you think the same if you smoke crack listening to this like I do.
That's
That was my mistake. I had Angel Dust. I guess I should have been listening to a Venom record instead.
All right, Greg.
Yeah, like you and I were talking before we started this. I like the song, though parts of it are a little unmemorable. I mean, it still has good dynamics, good melodies, good solo, and all that. And I like the fact that it's up tempo, but the story and the rest of this album was structured so well. It's odd that it ends on a song of this tempo, and that transition in at the end into that little epilogue is just a little too awkward for me. There should have been like an acoustic piece or something to connect that to set the mood. But and then also he has to do a sequel. I mean, all of a sudden there's demonic puppet masters having fucking children, and then they're making their own fucking demonic puppet show in London. And then so the shop in Berlin, supposedly a friend of his that also deals in these fucking demonic puppets. How the hell was he on the wall for 18 years? I mean, there can't be that many of these things around. It'll make more sense than Twilight Zone, the movie, though.
Oh, here's another thing that I'm not sure about. And I'm sure the rest of you guys picked up on this too, about he made a deal with a demon. So there's a part in that song where it's describing how he got, why he's doing this. And I guess it's like he's famous for these, because they're saying, oh, it's sold out. They're sold out shows. So he's kind of like Robert Johnson, you know, selling his soul at the crossroads or something, you know, except he's, you know, selling puppets. I don't know. So you picked up on that?
No.
So is the other puppet master in Berlin also doing that? Are his children going to do that in old London town?
I would imagine so.
Puppet master too will answer all of our questions, right, King Diamond?
Yes, they will. That's a terrible King Diamond impersonation.
Yes, they will.
Hey, that's better. Devil Dozer says, totally unrelated, but since we're near the end of this album, I want to throw this in. Do you think King will ever record and release The Institute? He's been waiting since 2019. What does everybody think? What do you think, Bobby? Is it ever going to come out?
It depends. Depends how many people ask for it. If there's demand, he might do it.
Yeah.
If he knows, if I don't know how many other King Diamond fans, you know, are anxiously awaiting it, but I mean, I know I would if I knew fans were asking for it and let's say clamoring for it, then definitely. But I don't know. It depends, man. I'm still waiting for the friggin' Merciful Fate album. Christ's sake.
Something's coming. He's got one song at least.
So bummed about Timmy Hansen.
Jackal of Salzburg, but that, I mean, he hasn't put a studio version of it out yet. There's a damn good live version of it floating around that I have that sounds tremendous. But we need the fucking Merciful Fate album, man.
Yeah.
I think there's a business problem.
Been waiting a long time.
Business problem with who?
I think that I smell a business problem. Because I was thinking, is it a health problem? Was it a pandemic problem? I thought, okay, it's a pandemic problem. And then is it a health problem? No, he's playing gigs. He's going out and traveling and touring and shit.
Yeah.
So I smell a conflict. I smell some kind of conflict business-wise.
Well, he's still on Metal Blade, no?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a financing thing, if it's a, you know, a creative difference. I don't know, but there's something, I just think there's something up. I hope it's not a health problem.
I see what you're saying about the business end, Lisa, and actually not the Puppet Master, because there was a tour for this, but when he did Abigail 2, Metal Blade actually at the time refused to finance the tour because it didn't sell that well. So I could totally see them being apprehensive about it, maybe making some kind of problem on that end.
Yeah.
What do you think, Al? Is it ever going to show the light of day?
I've got a much more positive view on it. I think the opposite. I think his resurgence in live popularity. Like if you've been to a King Diamond Merciful Fate gig recently, very much huge venues. Like I think off the back of him opening for Slayer a few years ago, he just had a huge resurgence in live popularity. So I think that has just put the recording on the back burner because he can make a lot more money live, playing big festivals and stuff. So I think now that he's done a few tours now with Merciful Fate, I think both albums are going to be coming out pretty soon, probably next year, because he's gonna focus on that, get it out there, and then he's gonna be able to do his own tour and make some money with that. So I think
building up the interest
Yeah.
for the album. Yeah. What about you, Ralph? You think it's coming out?
Yeah, but what's really funny is that when Merciful Fate got back together in the 90s, King Diamond was actually selling more. He was more popular than Merciful Fate. And I think the time has changed because I have seen reports that the new Merciful Fate's coming out this year, but not the new King Diamond.
Right.
So next King Diamond, I hope it comes out. I saw King Diamond play a song off it. What, 4 years ago?
Right. Yeah. What was that song called?
It's a good song, whatever.
Masquerade of Madness. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
It's a lot of work to make a record.
yeah, so
It's a
probably
lot of work.
probably
I've done 2 records in less than a year.
Fuck you, Wayne. Fuck
It's
off,
not that hard.
Wayne. I hate you guys. God,
Well,
Jelly.
Peter Chris.
probably there's holes in the story and he wants to refine it. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
You know, more
I think he's just trying to build up his value. I mean, he's got a home studio. People can record remotely. I think he's going to push the Merciful Fate stuff, and then he's going to push his own stuff. So he's going to put out probably a Merciful Fate album, do a big tour on that, use that to pump up the popularity of King Diamond solo, and then he's going to start pushing his own stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, he's got a kid now, so that's kind of taking up.
That's what I thought too. He's probably spending so much time with his kid.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
I think they'll come out. I just hope with him having the home studio and all that, neither of them gestate too long and they make it too long, or you know what I mean. Thinking about it too much isn't as good as putting it out, is just as bad as putting it out too fast. So, but I do think both of them will be released, although I am much more excited for the Merciful Fate record, I have to say.
Bobby, some guy Mark, I can't pronounce this last name, Oosterwick.
That name's a fucking nightmare, buddy. So we're gonna call you Mark Smith.
Mark Ooster. But he's been he says Bobby Lucas, my brother. Hell yeah, man.
It's my brother from another mother from the Netherlands.
Yeah,
Big
that's what he said.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Al, did you have a story about Budapest?
What, did you hear something about that?
I saw a little something about that.
Oh, God.
We did a European tour a couple of years ago, and we actually Tommy, the bass player in my band, he's a huge King Diamond fan. His metal battle vest is all King Diamond patches.
Oh wow!
All Merciful Fate King Diamond. And when we got to Budapest, we actually took a day off and just searched for a puppet theater to see if we could find one.
Would that be awesome?
And believe it or not, we found a puppet theater. It was closed. We didn't get to see it, but
Take pictures in front? Please tell me you took pictures in front.
And we got pictures, yeah.
Sweet.
You
missed the underground tour, but oh well.
When we got to Berlin, I think they had another puppet theater, and they had a puppet shop where they had actual puppets you could buy.
Oh wow!
With blue eyes.
Blue eyes.
But no King Diamond puppets. We were looking for a King Diamond puppet.
Nothing. Damn.
That'd be cool. A King Diamond puppet. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I got an action figure.
Oh yeah, I got that on my dresser over there.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah, I got 3 of them.
Yeah, just another one, right?
Yeah, it's coming out soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's right next to my Paul Bailoff action figure.
Paul Bailoff?
To fight you, rip your rat shirt off of you.
They don't have a Paul Bailoff figure, do they really?
They
Yes,
do
they
have
do.
a Paul
Yeah.
Bailoff
You can
action
fight with Vitro. You can have a Vitro and Bailoff fight.
No. It's amazing now, man. I love action figures. So.
Yeah. Super 7.
They need to make a schmear action figure.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah. Maybe one day. But thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Yes, thank you.
Alec, what's going on with Ravage? Anything going on? That's
Yeah,
going on with music.
we're actually finishing up an album of almost a double album.
Oh.
And it'll probably be out around the time the next Merciful Fate or King Diamond album's out.
Very cool. Can't wait to hear it. Bobby, what about you? What's going on with you? I mean, you got a radio show too, so tell us everything that's going on with you.
Yeah, I've been doing Screams from the Metal Crypt now for a few years. I've been with Metal Messiah Radio for a little over 5 years now. Every Thursday night, 7 p.m. till 11 p.m. metalmessiahradio.com. For a shameless plug. My buddy Adrian over on the beautiful Emerald Isle does a segment on it called Conjurings from the Hellfire Club. And there is a hell of a scene in Ireland right now. Unbelievable bands, seriously, kick-ass fucking music coming out of Ireland. I'm ready to move there. That's how good it is. But that and Attacker is hard at work writing our next album, the first one for Cruz del Sur Records. And we're about 5 songs in right now. So we're hoping to get it out. I really would love to have it out by the summertime, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Who's holding it back?
I'm sorry?
Who's holding the album back?
Nothing, just for writing. And well, we had that COVID, so
yeah.
That's slow. That kind of threw a wrench in everybody. Everybody's writing process, I think. But see, we're a band that gets together and plays together live.
Right. Yeah.
We feel like that gives it more of a cohesive feeling, and just you get tight, man.
Right.
We practice every week, religiously, and I think that helps.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to it because it's been what we did. Armor of the Gods was only an EP. We did that with Alex Perialis up in upstate New York. And that was I'm going to say 2018, 2019. Oh, no. I don't even remember, dude. It's all a blur. It's all a blur.
One big year.
Fucking brain fog. I had COVID twice. I got the fucking brain fog. I really do. That's no bullshit. There really is COVID brain fog.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, no, it took me about a month and a half to get back to normal.
Yeah, it's wild.
Made me
my mom's got it again. Now my mom's got it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Second time.
Wow.
But I also have it. Can I give one more shameless plug?
No, you're done. Lisa, go ahead.
Tribute bands. I got a Maiden tribute playing down ashore on the boardwalk at EJ's Tap House, March 25th. And also Denim and Leather, baby, April 1st. Check out my page, man.
Check them out. What is your pages? Tell us where we can go to find all that stuff.
You can find the Denim and Leather's page right on Facebook. It's not Denim and it's Denim and Leather because there's a Denim and Leather, but they're posers. So
fuck them.
Ravage, I remember you guys, man. I play Ravage. I got one of the albums with the spider on it and shit.
Oh wow. Yeah. The end of
I think I saw you guys in Pennsylvania once. In Pennsylvania, I think it was.
Oh wow.
But I mean, I believe I did see you in Pennsylvania years ago, man. This was when I was in Sanctuary. I saw you. Yeah.
I don't think we never played with Overlord. We played with Attacker a few times.
Oh, we didn't play with you, but
yeah, it was before you were in the band. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I played with those guys for about 4 years.
Wow.
Very cool. Lisa, what do you got going on, Lisa? Anything?
Well, singing with Splintered Throne. We've got some dates with Bay Area Thrashers, Blind Delusion. They're coming up. We got a gig April 9th at a place called The Garages in Lake Oswego. It's just south of Portland. It's a really big venue with great lights, great sound. So that's April 9th at The Garages. We're going to be at The Dip in Redding, California on Friday, April 14th, Phoenix Theater in Petaluma on Saturday, April 15th. We've got some other dates. Also, I'm going to get into the studio probably in about a month. So I'm a blues musician too, so I'm still doing my blues gigs, and that's mostly what I do. So I am making a new White Crone album in my spare time. And it's coming along slowly but surely. And I have 2 songs that are done enough to get the drummer in the studio to play the actual drums, because my drumming is really bad. So
Don't get the best sound out of that turned over Snoopy trash can, huh?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, one of these days I'm going to release an album of White Crone scratch tracks. And it's just be me playing all the instruments, including the drums, and they are hilariously bad. So maybe people will actually pay 99 cents to hear something like that.
Why not? I don't see why not. Mark says he loves your latest album. He wants you to come to Europe. And Devil Dozer, Ralph, can't wait for pretty much any of your new uploads. I listen to them while he's at work. They definitely help him pass the time.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's all.
And what do you got coming up next, Ralph? Anything?
I'll be hooking on 49th Street from today till Tuesday.
What time are you usually there?
7 to 11. But tonight I'm going right now.
All right, good.
Be safe.
What's going on with your Brave Words thing? Are you still doing that, or what's going on?
I don't know. Hey, aren't we supposed to have the guy from Brave Words on here?
Probably next episode, yeah.
Okay, I'll ask him then, because
ask him then.
what happened was the guy that was uploaded caught the COVID as well, but he's better now, and he still hasn't asked me to do anything. So I don't know what's going on. And Martin Popoff hasn't put up anything either. Even he hit me up going, "What's going on?" I was like, "I don't know, Martin." You know.
Very strange. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, hopefully that gets fixed. Me, I got an album coming out May 2nd, Severed Angel. So be ready for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's it.
Sneak preview.
You did get a sneak preview. ratsaladreview.com. And thank you guys very much. Please hit subscribe, up to 895 subscribers as of right now. So please. What?
Because I got one bone to pick with you that I noticed watching the intros and just what we're talking about with everything. Yes, we've interviewed some great people. Yes, we've done a lot, and we to get King on here. But you know what you really need to mention, because it was my favorite to do? We had Kim Ruz on.
We did have Kim Ruz on.
Nice.
To me, that was the
wasn't
most important one, man.
No, you missed that.
That's the only interview I know of with Kim Ruz.
He said it was the only one he ever did when he came on.
Yeah, we were the only ones to interview Kim Ruz. How amazing is that?
I write him back like every once in a while. I like send him an email, and I haven't heard from him. So I don't know if he just like gave up talking to people again, or I don't know. Nice guy though. He was nice.
Sean Peck calling tomorrow from Denner Sherman, but now it's Pete Black and Denner.
Yeah,
so now it's Denner Black. So I'm looking forward to finding out more about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be. He actually posted a little snippet of a song that they worked on. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get to maybe the whole track to play tomorrow.
Yeah, be awesome. All right, guys. Again, thank you very much for coming on the show. Had a lot of fun. And everybody, stay tuned to this broadcast right now. I'm going to play an interview with me and Lisa. We were talking to Matt Thompson about his work on The Puppet Master. So we will see you guys next time.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Come on, guys.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Smack 'em a gob.
Smack 'em a gob.
Well, I gotta find the file first. The hell did I do with it? Oh, wait. Here it is. Got it. All right. Matt Thompson.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Later.
Adios.
The next album,
Adios.
The Puppet Master. That one was pretty cool. Had a very cool story to it. And he actually had a DVD and he described the whole thing. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. How was the recording for that album? Is that the same process for Abigail too, or was this totally different?
Well, I remember liking it a lot better because we did not have the triggers on the drums.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I was happier with the drum sound on Puppet Master. I think they sound a lot more like drums.
Yeah.
And I
Beefier.
remember, yeah, it's beefier. And I remember enjoying the sound of my toms in my monitors a lot more. Just the way it was just a better sound going to tape, and that just makes the whole thing a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love the music, man. I thought it was really cool to, the vast majority of those riffs I really love.
Yeah.
So I saw that this was recorded in Gothenburg and in Texas. So did you go to Sweden or did you track at Nomad?
Nomad.
Okay. And so this is like if you could describe maybe some of this multi-track process, the building blocks of maybe how that was done overseas,
You guys are nerds.
I am a nerd.
Kind of.
I'm a nerd. I'm a recording nerd, and I have lots of nerds that are waiting to watch this interview, including my touring drummer. So he's gonna love this, nerd stuff.
All right, yeah, cool. The Puppet Master was like it was the same process as far as pre-production goes, and then go into the studio and just knocking it out. It says Gothenburg because I'm pretty sure that's where Mike did his solos, and maybe Andy did some of his solos. I'm pretty sure Andy did the rhythm guitar in Dallas, and I'm pretty sure it was mixed in Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you tracking to?
What am I tracking to?
Just what are you tracking to? I mean, when you are in the studio, and what are you tracking to?
I have the rhythm guitar, and on Andy's tracks I had some B3 organ.
Okay.
On King's tracks I have rhythm guitar and keyboards.
Oh, so
Okay.
King's actually playing guitar?
Yes, King plays guitar. Yeah, when he composes,
wow.
he writes it all on guitar. Yeah, and
wow.
keyboards. Yeah.
He's performing.
Sometimes bass, I think, too. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
All right, that was your nerd moment. Thank you very much.
And we used an Akai tape recorder. I'm just kidding. No, it was digital.
Use the DAT machine.
So
That
it's all
machine, right?
it's all been digital? I'm assuming on Pro Tools or
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
And when you do your drumming, does King? I imagine King still lives in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So does he go down with you while you're doing your recordings?
Well, I mean, the last thing we recorded was Masquerade of Madness. I did that here at my studio in Denton.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And before that, the last thing we recorded was Give Me Your Soul, Please. If you don't count, I mean, we recorded the Abigail live shows.
Yeah.
And made DVD out of that. But before that, it was 2007. So,
wow, long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
A few years. What did you have any recording issues with the Puppet Master?
No.
No.
I don't think
Nope.
so.
Any problems with any of the drum patterns they wanted you to follow or?
Where are you getting this from, Wade?
No, wait. I'm just coming. It's coming through your head into mine.
It's actually an amazing question because that's what I was thinking. Like, there's a part where it's in Christmas where there's a march and there's a cymbal playing at the same time. And I was like, King, I was like, King, the drummer wouldn't do that. He goes, come on, you can do it, and I did. I figured out a way to do it.
Yeah. Oh,
I got Ralph Hardiman.
Whoa, ambidextrous.
So
Weird that is.
yeah.
That is
So
weird.
you are playing that part, because actually that part doesn't sound like a real drum, but I guess you're doing it.
Yeah, I've been accused of sounding like a drum machine, and I say thanks for the compliment.
The human drum machine.
I listened to that record on the last long flight I did to Europe. And can I swear? Is that okay? Is this a family show?
No,
it's fucking brilliant. And your performances
Awesome.
are fucking brilliant. That's all I
Wow,
gotta
thanks,
say.
Lisa.
It's really
Thank you.
great.
That's nice to hear. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Appreciate it.
Really
Yeah,
well done.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, since you joined the band, every album that you've done different things, and you can tell he's letting you get your style in there more and more each album, I think. And he's trusting
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you can definitely tell, which is good. I would think so by now, too, since you are the longest drummer in King Diamond.
Yeah, kind of by far now.
Yeah.
Although, hey, Lisa, that's awesome, man. You know, Puppet Master, I felt that it came together in a lot of ways, man. There's a lot of magic on that album.
Yeah.
And I also think it's one of King's all-time top stories.
Yeah.
And if you watch him telling it, you know, like knowing the details behind the story just makes it like all the more brutal. It's a brutal story.
I have not seen the DVD, so I gotta see this. I gotta see it. Yeah.
It makes
I recommend it, man. I recommend
It's an organic sounding album. It's very technical. It's very proggy. It's very technical, but it still sounds organic, and I really dig it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few things that stand out. You know, I think that there's some B3 on there.
Yeah, real organ.
Right. Yeah, and that, I think that really it beefens it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Pistons it up.
Yeah. And also, I believe this is King's wife's first full time, like on doing most of a lot of the songs on the album too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did a little bit, I think, on Abigail too, but this one she did a couple more songs. Now, what do you think with his wife? I mean, you can't say nothing bad, and I don't want you to. Of course, you wouldn't. Well, what do you think with his wife doing some songs?
You mean like on the Puppet Master, or just in general?
Just in general, on
cool.
Puppet Master. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it brings a really awesome kind of thing to the Puppet Master, actually. And it makes it totally more evil, you know, because it's a love story, and it's a charming little love story. Like during the premise of like having their organs ripped out, and they're down to the eyeballs, you know.
Yes, yeah.
They're brought to life by demonic ritual.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a shock that when I first heard, you know, there's a female in the King Diamond album. That's just, you know, there's never ever been any guests or anything on any album. And just hearing somebody else doing stuff, it was like, well, that's kind of strange, but it works, and it
served
I like
the
it a lot.
story. It was all about the story, you know.
It works perfectly with the story.
Yep.
So, do you have a favorite song off of this album?
Of a Puppet Master? No, I don't think so.
No.
No. But I mean, I guess I would have to say No More Me because I helped write it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I have a credit on Puppet Master. No More Me is Thompson or Diamond/Thompson.
What did you come up with?
No More Me is I came up with the main riff. My original demo that I gave to King has that main riff. It's like a chromatic heavy thing. It's kind of slow, and it's got a carnival like verse. And King just kind of adapted it and made it fit the story, and you know, made it fit. Man, it came out pretty cool.
Oh, that was really cool. So, are you a multi-instrument? How do you even say that? Multi-instrumentalist, too?
Say it 10 times fast.
Yeah, I can't. Do you play guitar? Do you play bass? Do you play organs? Do you play other instruments?
I don't. I'm not going to go there.
Well,
yeah, I guess
I know where you're going.
Go play your organ on your own time.
No skin flutes, please.
Moving on.
So you do play guitar?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I have for a long time. I write music. I've been writing music, I guess, since Pro Tools Free came out.
Oh, really? Wow.
Shit.
Whatever year that was. I think it was like 2000 or 2001.
Wow. Cool. So, how did the Puppet Master tour go?
From the things I can remember, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I lived the life of 40 men on those
Really?
tours.
Yeah. So
See this gray hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you miss most about touring? The lack of sleep or the shitty airport food? No.
Airports have improved.
Yes, they have, except in Latvia. But yes, they have.
Well,
Yeah.
I miss the thing is I never really minded any part of touring at all.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I didn't like the cigarette smoke everywhere. In Europe,
Yeah.
cigarette smoke everywhere.
That's
I didn't like that.
changed too. That's changed too.
Yeah, that's
But
totally changed. Yeah.
do you go do stuff when you're touring, or are you like a hotel chill guy?
No, I even now I try to take advantage of every city I go to and leave
Yeah.
as soon as I can. I try to stay out of the hotel.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I've always done that from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's just kind of been, I guess, always a part of my makeup.
Yeah. Well, like my husband tours a lot more than I do, and he goes to Europe a lot. Well, he used to until COVID, and he would say, another day, another 1,000-year-old church, because he'd go to all these great towns in Europe, and it's always the
Yeah, they're everywhere.
1,000-year-old church. That's the place you want to go. That's where you want to take the pictures.
Yeah, they're everywhere, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any cool things happened on that tour? Since that was your first tour with King Diamond?
Which the Puppet Master tour?
On that Puppet Master tour. Puppet Master.
Well, my first tour was the House of God one.
Oh yeah, this we're on Puppet Master. Keep up.
The Puppet Master tours, did anything stand out?
Yeah.
It was a crazy celebration of life, man.
Yeah.
Back then, the crew toured with the band, and it was just a circus.
Really?
Yeah. The shows were just awesome, man. Full. We sold most of them out from what I can remember, and it was just always incredible. The 2005 USA Puppet Master, it kind of blurs together because we did Puppet Master tour and then we did Deadly Lullabies tour, if I remember that right. But anyway, the Puppet Master tour I think it was Deadly Lullabies in the US. Anyway, the openers were Behemoth, Nile, and Black Dahlia Murder.
Oh wow.
With us headlining, and it was just nuts. It was just one of the craziest tours from a drummer's perspective.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that sticks out for sure. Was getting to see those guys every night. And yeah, man, I don't know. It was just awesome. It's awesome to be.
That did everybody freeze?
King Diamond's drummer and on a tour bus.
Very good.
Okay. We froze for a second. All right. Any song you don't like or didn't really or maybe had a hard time with on Puppet Master?
Hard time with. Well, some of the challenges involved with King is that some of his tempos are like for the kick drum, it's like too fast for one leg but too slow for two.
Really?
Oh.
Like there's some tunes where he likes there should be eighth notes on the kicks. Do do ba do 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 ba do 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 ba do 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 ba do.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just a physical challenge, but other than that, no, nothing really stands out. It's because I can't remember really.
Oh, yeah.
In a week of tracking drums, there's certain to be ups and downs, and that's just kind of the grind,
Right.
So nothing really stands out. I can't really say. Sorry.
That's okay. No problem.
I feel
Right.
shame.
It's all right. It happens.
No, but I think that's an interesting observation, though. It's kind of like between a walk and a run. It's like do you walk really fast or do you start running? that kind of a concept with those
Yeah,
tempos. And
yeah,
I
that's
know
kind-
exactly what you're talking about, those tempos.
Yeah. I mean, and it depends kind of what I'm doing with my hands. That kind of dictates whether I'm going to do it with one or two. Yeah. A lot of variables there.
Yeah.
All right, so now we move on to Give Me Your Soul, Please, and thank God I remembered the name this time. ...
Please.
Please, yes.
It's
Yeah,
very
right.
polite. Very
It
polite.
is very polite.
Wait for it. Please.
Please.
Your soul.